Ever since the Toyota Raize came out 2 years ago, this small SUV has powered through and has cemented itself as the most popular compact SUV in its segment. Heck, even my brother-in-law owns one. Now, that got me wondering, why the heck is the Toyota Raize so popular anyway? So I asked my friends at Toyota Motor Philippines to lend me the top-spec Raize Turbo for a few days just to see what sort of Riz the Toyota Raize has got. Let's do this. From the very beginning, the Toyota Raize was destined to be popular. There's just something about the car that hits the sweet spot amongst a lot of Pinoy buyers. Of course, being a Toyota also helps its cause. It's like being born into a family of wealth and power, even if you're just the adopted son from the Daihatsu family. But brand name aside, what are the other reasons for the love of the Toyota Raize? Could it be the price? Because at 1,068,000 Philippine pesos, this top-spec Raize Turbo is not even the most affordable option out there, and it's not even the most feature-packed. So at this point, let's begin our quest to find out why the Toyota Raize is so popular. Here at Reagan's Rides, we do car reviews of SUVs, sports cars, trucks, and everything in between. So subscribe and hit the bell. So I'm pretty sure you guys already know the top reason for the popularity of the Raize because it really is quite obvious. You see, this, my friends, is sold as a Toyota and a relatively affordable Toyota SUV at that. You see, the Raize starts off at the 750,000 Philippine peso mark for the base trim and tops off with this top-spec turbo at 1,068,000 Philippine pesos. Now, if that price range sounds familiar to you guys, well, that's because it's the same price range as another Toyota bestseller here in the Philippines, which is the Toyota Vios. Now, that helps the Raize a lot. And it also explains why this vehicle is so popular. Now, my next observation is the level of fuel economy that the Raize Turbo returns. You see, I could not believe my eyes when I saw that light city drives gave back 14 kilometers per liter and a frugal drive on the highway returned to me 22.3 kilometers per liter. Now, dude, these are fuel economy figures that I'd expect to get from small, underpowered city cars, but we get that here in a subcompact SUV. Now, in fact, I'm on the last day of a 5-day lend out of this press car, and if you check out my fuel gauge, dude, I still have nearly a full tank left. I usually encounter that when I'm when I'm reviewing full hybrids, but I also got that in this Raize Turbo, and I did a good amount of driving with this vehicle every day, and I even went out to the neighboring provinces to do some shoots and to attend some events, and yet I'm still returning it today on a full tank of gas, or nearly a full tank of gas. Now, how does it achieve that? You see, the 1-liter turbo does a good job in minimizing fuel consumption when you're in stop-and-go traffic. And that's one of the benefits of having a small displacement engine right here, a turbocharged small displacement gasoline engine. And as long as you keep your RPM below 2,000, the 2,000 level, the turbo wouldn't kick in, which would further help to improve your fuel economy. Which takes me to my third observation of the Raize. You see, despite the frugal engine, the drive itself is surprisingly responsive and perky. That 1-liter turbocharged 3-cylinder that we have there, yeah, it only produces 98 PS and 140 Newton meters of torque, which really doesn't sound like much on paper, but dude, you gotta drive it to experience it. You see, we also have a CVT transmission here, but I am impressed with the way Toyota tuned the transmission of this Raize Turbo. You see, it's more responsive than the CVT found in the mid-spec Raize G trim, the one with the naturally aspirated engine. And yeah, we don't even have much CVT lag. In fact, we have minimal CVT lag here, and the throttle response is nice and smooth despite having a turbocharged 3-cylinder. Now, maybe I set my expectations too low for this drive, but yeah, I am quite impressed. You see, I already drove for a quick test drive the mid-spec Raize G, and yeah, I was underwhelmed with the acceleration performance of that vehicle. So maybe that's the reason why I set my expectations too low for this Toyota Raize Turbo. Thing is, this Raize Turbo, pare, it's a totally different animal. So for those of you who are thinking about whether you should get the top spec Raize Turbo or go for the mid-spec G trim and yeah, save a little bit of money, well, here's my answer to you, pare. If you love to drive, get the Raize Turbo, alright? You won't regret it. So we got great fuel economy here, a responsive drive, and of course the Toyota brand. But what truly hits the spot on the Raize popularity is its SUV body type. You see, Pinoys prefer SUVs over sedans, which explains why Toyota Philippines does not mind pricing this Raize at the same level as the Toyota Vios. You see, pare, if you think about it, they really did their homework really well. See, the Vios has cornered the corporate account, you know, the taxi fleets and the grab cars, while the Raize gives consumers that SUV option that still drives like a Vios and is priced like a Vios. That, my friends, is a very smart move. See, being an SUV body, it has a good amount of outward visibility here. Your sitting position is nice and tall, and we have a good amount of space for people and cargo. Not to mention the added confidence that the 200 millimeters worth of ground clearance will give you whenever you're driving over, let's say, potholes or flooded roads. Now that, my friends, is a very legit reason why SUVs are so popular here in the Philippines, because we do get a lot of typhoons here, and the Raize is able to, fill in that need quite well. So you're getting all of that in a Toyota subcompact SUV that costs 1 million Philippine pesos or less? Pare, yes please! Now the cabin and tech aren't really the most advanced in the segment, but the Raize delivers exactly the things that you need and nothing that you don't. The layout is simple and straightforward, so it's not intimidating to use. We get a touchscreen infotainment system here that comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and a low-resolution reverse camera and a fancy gauge cluster here, by Toyota standards anyway. Now, we don't have a sunroof, we don't have ventilated seats, we don't even get voice commands here. But as I said, the Toyota Raize is banking on keeping it simple. And the funny part, pare, it actually works. Which now takes me to my final observation why the Toyota Raize is so darn popular: the design. You see, guys, it's a pretty safe design. We don't really get too much outlandish lines, corners, or curves here, and it's pretty easy on the eyes. Now, the Raize is like a blank canvas that is also open to customization. You can change the wheels to a nicer set here, you can throw in a body kit, and you'll now have a JDM vehicle that you can take to car meets. You know, you can dress this up in the same lines, in the same themes as the other small JDM cars out there, and it will look pretty darn good.
So there you have it. After spending several days with the Toyota Raize Turbo, I now have a clear understanding why this SUV is so popular. It's a simple case of having your cake and eating it too. Toyota managed to combine in the Raize all the traits that most Pinoy car buyers are looking for: the affordable cost of entry, customizable good looks, fantastic fuel economy, and a decent amount of driving power, all wrapped in the Toyota nameplate. With this combination, it is no wonder why the Raize is such a top pick, especially in this top spec turbo trim. Thanks for watching.